Yo, what's going on, snipers, and welcome back to New York Islanders franchise mode here in NHL 25. So in last episode, if you did not catch it, we took on the Ottawa Senators in the conference finals, and just like the teams that we did in the second round, we beat them in 5 games again. So our team has been absolutely awesome up to this point, 12-3. As you can see, we won the first 3 games, 5-1, 5-4, and 3-2. Then we lost in overtime to 3-2, but then we bounced back with an overtime win of our own, which we ended up seeing that game-winning goal from Jaskalainen that sent us to the Stanley Cup Finals, where we're going to be taking on the Edmonton Oilers. So this is kind of like a rematch of those 1980s matchups, which is pretty cool to see, except for obviously we're kind of a team that's just starting to become good. Meanwhile, the Oilers are still trying to find themselves a Stanley Cup. They don't have a Stanley Cup at this point, which is kind of surprising, because if we do go to the roster, you could see Connor McDavid has no cups at this point in time, which we will go to the roster, and you can see they have a pretty good squad. Obviously a lot of older type of guys, but yet Connor McDavid's 39 years old at this point, and he has no Stanley Cup win, which is rather impressive for the amount of cabinet awards he has at the moment, like 5 Hart trophies, 5 Lindsays, 7 Art Ross trophies, 2 Maurice Richards, and a Lady Byng on top of that Conn Smythe he won last year in real life. So absolutely insane that he's never won a Stanley Cup, but him and Draisaitl are still looking for that Stanley Cup late into their careers. So either we're going to end up losing to them and they're going to end up winning their first Stanley Cup right at the end of their career pretty much, or we're going to end up winning a Stanley Cup with a bunch of young guys, which is pretty impressive. So it's definitely going to be a tough task. We definitely need to contain that top line of McDavid, Savoy, and Ogren. It's been their best line by far. Leon Draisaitl's also been obviously really good. And then from a defensive standpoint, I guess Evan Bouchard's type of one of those guys we got to contain. I mean, he is only a +2, so I guess they are conceding a decent amount of goals, but they are a very good offensive team. So if we could shut down that offense, we definitely have a chance. And their goaltending with like Akira Schmid isn't really the craziest, so I definitely think we have the upper hand in net defensively. Offensively, I'd say it's a bit of a mixed one, just because obviously McDavid is on always a different planet in the playoffs and during the regular season too. So going to be a tough matchup for us regardless. As you can see, if you look below me, if I remove my face, we are currently the first best team in offense and defense in this postseason. We're the 3rd best power play team and the 5th best penalty kill team. Meanwhile, the Oilers are the 2nd best offensive team, so only just behind us. But they are the 5th best defensive team. So their goals against are 3 goals against per game, so they're allowing a decent chunk of goals, but they are scoring a lot of goals just like us. They do have the best power play in the playoffs right now and the 2nd best penalty kill, so they do have also very good special teams. So this should be interesting to see what ends up happening in this Cup Finals. Obviously, they had a really good season, 52, 24, and 6. Meanwhile, we had the average season of 41, 30, and 11. So honestly, I have no idea what to expect. I hope that our team could just find a way to win 4 more games, and then we could have ourselves a Stanley Cup with a roster that's all 28 and younger, which would be rather impressive. Or actually 29 and younger, I guess, now, because Frundell must have just had his birthday recently. But yeah, Frundell's the oldest at the moment at 29 years of age. Hanek is technically the oldest, but I don't really consider him even a player on our team. So everybody here, though, yeah, could have a chance maybe to win multiple cups in their career. Like, this is just the starting point of our cup runs that we're potentially going to have with this roster, because we do have a lot of guys in the system that are still looking rather impressive in terms of potential. Like, I am very excited to see what this team could do down the road. But anyways, before we get into this Cup Finals, let's get in your guys' comments, see what you guys have to say about last episode, and then we'll see if this team's able to win its first Stanley Cup of this franchise mode in 2036 or not. So the one and only comment is from Sound Otaku. Says, in a real game, there's no way the Sens OT goal would have counted. Still, it didn't end up hurting you, so on to the battle of the last true NHL dynasties, and yeah, that's pretty much true, other than the Montreal Canadiens, obviously, because the Montreal Canadiens won a lot in the 70s. They also won in 1993, but technically the Oilers and the Islanders are the last true NHL dynasties, other than like Tampa Bay, I guess you could say, maybe Pittsburgh even. But Edmonton obviously winning a ton of cups back in the 80s. The Islanders were winning cups before the Oilers a lot, but then eventually the Oilers took over those cup wins. So kind of interesting to see this. I don't know if we'd have like a similar roster to those Islanders teams back in the day. Probably not, because we're a lot younger. but I wouldn't even consider anybody on this team good enough as like Mike Bossy or Brian Trottier or any of those type of guys. So this is definitely a lot of a different looking Islanders team, but it should be interesting to see if this team's good enough to just get 4 more wins, because like even Solovyov's been finding his game a lot more as of late. So I like our goaltending, I like our defensive play, I like our offensive play. Like there's definitely no problems with this team right now, so hopefully it doesn't come crashing down at the worst time possible. But anyways, with that said, let's get into the Stanley Cup Finals and see if we could get 4 more wins and get that first Stanley Cup under our way. And hopefully we could win more than that after this year, because like I said, we still have a very young roster. There's definitely a chance that we could win multiple Stanley Cups within a short span potentially with this roster. So let's get into game number 1. We do not have home ice advantage. It will be in Edmonton to start off the Stanley Cup Finals. So let's see if we can find ways to win on the road. So far, we've been a decent-ish road team, I think, right? We won 2 games there, 3 games. We lost 1, so 3-1 record. Yeah, I think we have a really good road record, if I'm not mistaken, at this point. So hopefully we keep it going. Let's get to game 1. See if we can contain that top line, because like I said, that top line is the line we need to contain the most. They're all over point per game. Meanwhile, our team is like kind of getting really good depth scoring. So let's see if the depth scoring can compete with that top line of the Oilers or not. First period, game number 1. Scoreless. I'll take it. I mean, that's a good defensive period, good goaltending period. Just need to find ways, obviously, to score some goals eventually, but that's still a nice defensive first period. I don't like being down by a couple of goals after the first period, so to say scoreless is better than obviously being down by a couple of goals. So can we find a way to get that lead in the second period, or is this going to be one of those games that end up being only like 1-0, 2-0, or 3-0 by the end of it? Second period, 1-0 us. Okay, we do open the scoring, and it's Eriksson, which is kind of nice to say, because like I said before a couple rounds ago, I think that Eriksson was one of our worst players technically, but he is starting to come alive a bit. That third line has been doing a little bit more work as of late, so it is good to see the third line doing work, the fourth line doing work, the second line, the first line. Like every single player on this team has done a decent job on this roster. So for us to have a 1-0 lead going into third is nice. Allenfeld's actually starting this game for the Oilers, which is kind of a surprise in my opinion, I think. Unless, no, was he with the higher overall goalie? I don't remember, because they had like 80 and a 78. I don't remember if Allenfeld was a 78 or not. But anyway, shots are still pretty damn even. 21-20 in favor of the Oilers. It's a 1-0 lead for us. Can we get any insurance in this third period and close out this game? Let's see what happens. Come on, boys. Savoy ties it up immediately to start the third. That's not a great way to start off the third period, but we do have a response on the power play, and it's Salmelainen. Nice. And Sierra scores too, so our defensive core has been scoring a lot of goals this playoff run so far, and they give us 2 big goals here in the third period after we gave up an early goal, so that might be huge for this game. Final few minutes, still up by a pair of goals, and we are going to lock it down. So a great performance from the defensive core. We give up that early goal, like I said, but the defensive core won us this game. Salmelainen and Sierra. So I think everybody on the defensive core almost has like 2+ goals, maybe not Schaefer, but I feel like mostly everybody in the defensive core has been scoring multiple goals, which is rather impressive as well. So final shots at the end of game number 1, 31-29, as we win 3-1 on the road to start off the Stanley Cup Finals. That's another very good defensive game. We don't necessarily need to be scoring 5+ goals a game. We just need to find ways to shut down that offense, and that's exactly what we did in game 1. So Eriksson from Giordano, then we had Salmelainen from Giordano, and Mäkinen, Sierra from Mäkinen, and Frundell. So Mäkinen and Giordano with a couple assists each, which is nice to see. And yeah, both those guys are the only 2-point guys, and there's a couple 1-pointers. Any minus people, just a couple guys. It's just the fourth line, which is not a huge issue, because they've been so good so far in the playoffs that I don't even really care if they're minus for a game or not. And then from a goaltending perspective, look at that, 966 from Solovyov. Solovyov is definitely having a lot better of a playoffs than a regular season, and he gets first star of the game in that one. Savoy the second star, and Mäkinen the third star. All right. Kind of surprised that Savoy got second star in the loss, but is what it is. All right, so we do take a win on the road, which is great. We've been playing some really good defensive hockey as of late. I think we honestly got to keep the team the same unless we lose 2 straight games, so can't we keep the momentum rolling into game number 2? We're still in Edmonton, so if we could find a way to win both these games in Edmonton, that might set us up for a good stuff in home ice. We haven't been as good of a home team, but obviously we've only lost 3 games up to this point, so both home and road records are looking pretty decent. So let's see what happens in game number 2. See if we could take a 2-0 series lead and just build off last game's success so far. First period, game number 2. 1-0 Oilers. So we haven't scored a goal in the first period in the first 2 games, which isn't a huge issue. Shots are heavily in their favor, 14-8. So our offense really didn't do too much in that period. And then they generated a lot of chances. Like, they probably already know that this is an important game for them, because obviously if they lose both their home games, they're going to have to win both road games. So they get off to a good start against us. Morrow with that goal. Like I said, we're being outshot 14-8. Only down by a goal, though, so we definitely could bounce back in a second. Can we find a way to get a goal in a second to tie this game up? Let's play good defensively, not allow them to get much more goals than this. Second period, 1-1. Okay, we do tie it up, and it's Mäkinen. So Mäkinen up to 3 points in these first 2 games of the Cup Finals. Great to see. We're now out shooting him 24-21, so definitely a much better second period. Akir Schmid is now in net, so technically, I think, Schmid was the starter, so I don't know why Allenfelt was in for all 3 of the goals that they allowed last game. Maybe Schmid was temporarily injured early into the game. I'm not too sure on that, but at least he's back for this game, which is not necessarily a great thing, because he's a good goaltender by comparison to probably Allenfelt, but it is a 1-1 game so far. We're playing some good defensive hockey. We're not scoring too much, which is not a huge issue. Like I said, if we just play good defensively and we win games 2-3-1, I'm okay with it, so we're outshooting them by a couple shots. It's an even game. Pretty much the exact same type of thing almost as last game. Very low scoring at this point. Can we find a way to get that first lead in the third period? Let's see what happens. Third period underway. Come on, guys. Nord scores immediately to start the third. So just like last game, the Oilers get a goal immediately to start the third period. Do we have a response? Power play for us. No goals on that power play. That's unfortunate. Do we have any in us, though? Come on, guys. Don't let our offense dry up. We had 3 goals last game. Let's tie this one up late here. And we're not going to do it. So the Oilers do take one of their home games. We outshot them 38-29. So maybe we do not want to face Akir Schmid as we end up losing this game, not scoring any goals. But we generated a lot of chances. Just unfortunately, the Oilers do what we did to them last game, basically, I feel like. So our only goal is Mäkinen from Bjorkstrand and Tatar. But that 1-minute goal into the third period ends up being the game winner. That's interesting. I don't know what to do necessarily. Like, if we have a 1-1 split, it's not a huge issue. But we definitely want to find ways to score more goals, because Solovyov has been fantastic to start this Cup Finals. So, I think I'm going to probably keep it the same, but if we lose the next game and don't score a lot, we might have to make some adjustments. So Schmid, the first start of the game for them, not really a surprise. Nord, the second start, and Solovyov, the third start. Solovyov has been so good, though. Like, he started his playoff off on a really bad note, but since then he's been so good. And that's not a great sign. So Jonathan Sierra has been injured with a sprained ankle. He's out till June 8th, so his season is almost done, I think, by that stretch. Maybe he'd be back for a late game. Not too sure on that. Let me go replace player for a second, but not great to have a defensive injury at this stage. And Sierra's been actually a pretty decent defenseman on our blue line, too, so that's not good. Let me actually go back to the calendar for a second. Would he be back at any point in this series? Let me take a look. He could be back for a game 6/7 if it goes that far. So he does have a chance at least to come back for that, which is good. But still, I do not like having defensive injuries at this stage. So if we go back to our defensive core, it currently would have just put Wilkinson on this top 6, which I think I'm okay with. Yeah, I think we'll just keep it like that. Let's go Wilkinson on the right side, because I think he is... Actually, Boyd's more defensive. Probably should keep Boyd on his normal side. Wilkinson could play on the left side, because he's also lefty. Okay. Yeah, Wilkinson kind of fits his defensive core really nice, and he has been a pretty good defenseman for us. He's only played 2 games. He's a +2. Never played a playoff game, so he's going to get a chance to play while Sierra's out, which should be interesting. And it doesn't make our defensive core really that much weaker with him in it. But Solovyov's up to a .925 save percentage, so he's doing a lot of good work for us. But we do need to find our offensive game a bit, so maybe having a 2-way defenseman like Wilkinson in will give us a little bit more of an offensive boost. Like I said, if we don't do good offensively here and we end up losing like 2-0 or something like that, I might get into some offensive adjustments. But it's good that we at least took one of their games. If we didn't take one of their games, I'd be definitely in a bit of a tougher spot. So Let's keep the rest of the team the same. Can we find ways to win on home ice now? Because if we could win both these home games, we set ourselves up for very good spots. So just got to find a way to win both of them, and we'll be okay. So game number 3 on home ice. The first Stanley Cup Finals game on home ice since, I guess, when we played. I don't remember who we played last in the Cup Finals, but since then, let's see if we could get the goal scoring started early, because we have not scored in the first period at this point in time. First period, game 3. 1-1, I guess I'll take that. I mean, it's not bad. We do not open to scoring. They open to scoring. I got confused for a second because I saw the orange. I'm like, I don't know. But anyways, Leroy scores a shorthanded goal against us, so not great to give up a shorthanded goal. But Nielikainen answers back, so that fourth line continues to be a consistent line for the most part. They have had some games off here and there, but Nielikainen scoring some goals is good to see. Shots are in our favor, 11-9, but it's a 1-1 game. Can we find our first lead of the night in the second period? Second period, 2-2. Okay, this is another close game. This might be a really close Cup Finals based on how it's simulating so far. Lume gives the Oilers a 2-1 lead, and Giordano scores late in the period to give it a 2-2 game. Shots 26-21 in favor of us, but it is dead even. Hopefully we don't give up a goal in the first minute like we've been doing so far of this third period. So let's see what happens. Third period, our destiny is in our hands. Can we find a way to win this game and take a 2-1 series lead? Let's see what happens. Third period underway. Come on, boys. I know you have that goal scoring in you. I want to see like Bjorkstrand score a goal, maybe Jääskeläinen. Power play for us. We do not score on it. Maybe Anton Frundell even. Somebody on the top 6 could get going a bit. That would be nice. Final few minutes of this third period, still tied at 2, and we are going to go to overtime in game 3. So, yeah, this has been a really close series. Like, I honestly feel like it could go to Game 7 just because we've had a pretty easy route to this Cup Finals. I feel like there's definitely a series that should be a lot closer. So this one might go to Game 7, or it could be a Game 6 scenario, but it definitely, I feel like, could go pretty far. So shots are in our favor, 35-30. Looking to find ourselves a winner here in overtime. Whoever wins this game will take a 2-1 series lead going into Game 4. Let's see if we could find it. Who wants to be a hero for us? Let me shout out Leahy just because that fourth line has one of our goals tonight. Let's see what happens. Come on, boys. Let's get that winner. Don't care who it is. Maybe even Wilkinson. That would be insane if it was Wilkinson, considering this is his first playoff game. Penalty kill. Nicely done. Penalty killer's power play for us. We do not score on it. Damn, that sucks. Come on, guys. Let's get that winner. Let's get that winner. Final few minutes of this first overtime period. And we're going to double overtime. I feel like it's been a while since we've been in a double overtime scenario. Shots are 46-40 in favor of the Oilers, so it's been a really good goaltending performance from both goalies so far. We know it's going to end really quickly. Hopefully we get a goal here, and hopefully it's somebody decent. I don't really care who it is on our roster, but give me a goal, please, and give me this win on home ice. Do it for the Islanders fans. Let's see what happens. Double overtime underway. Who wants to be the hero for us? And they're going to end up winning it. God damn it. And it's Connor McDavid. Of course it is. And the Edmonton Oilers have taken one of our home games, which means we need to respond next game. That's really unfortunate. I thought we would have found a way to win that game, but Solovyov buckles on the 47th shot of the game. We just gave up a little bit too much chances. Our offense has been pretty quiet, which I'm not liking. So Nielikainen from Leahy and Legg, and Giordano from Howden and Eliason. But yeah, Connor McDavid ends up being the difference in that one. He's looking for that first Stanley Cup. I don't blame the guy for trying that hard. Don't blame him at all. Yeah, Solovyov was fantastic in that game again. So from a defensive standpoint, nothing's been wrong with this team. And goaltending-wise, nothing's been wrong. But the offense, as of late, has been pretty quiet. We have had a lot of closer games, so I think we got to find a way to respond on that. So I'm going to go back to edit lines, and I'm going to find a way to try and get our offense to simulate a little bit better. Obviously, we don't want to make ourselves too bad defensively because of that, but what do we want to do here? Let's swap Jääskeläinen into Bjorkstrand, because Bjorkstrand's been, he's been good this playoffs, but he's been kind of quiet as of late. Jääskeläinen also has been quiet, but maybe that could help things a bit. Aside from that, I don't really know what else I could do. Maybe get Legg up and Leeson down, because Leeson's more defensively minded, but Leeson's listed as a second line forward, so he should be hypothetically higher in the lineup. So I don't know if there's really much I could do there. I don't know if there is. Yeah, I don't think I could really do anything else. Let me swap Salmline into Tar maybe just for a small change. I honestly don't even know. I don't want to really adjust our defense too much. Our power play, maybe we should try and reconfigure this a bit. Like maybe we want to take... I really like our looks of our power play units, to be honest. Let me get Jaskalainen in on the first power play. Maybe instead. And then Ciofito could go on the second unit. I'm not really too sure, but we're just going to try and rework some things to get our offense to assimilate a little bit better. Because if we could get that offense to assimilate better, that would be huge. Because then maybe we could actually start winning some games here. Because losing 2 in a row, that's the first time we've done that all playoffs. So we got to be a little bit weary about that. I could put Leahy always on the power play too, but I got to get Ciofito on there for sure. Because Ciofito's really, really good too. So it's hard to get everybody on this team power play time. Really is. All right, so a little bit of a reconfigured top 6. Also a top 4 defense is a little bit reconfigured. Let's see if we can get a response in this next game. Our offense hasn't been good so far in this finals. We've been getting good goaltending and defensive play, but we need to find a way to win these close games. Because every game actually over the last technically 5 games has been pretty tight. Like, we could have technically, actually even more than that, last 6 games have been really tight. Technically, our offense hasn't been really that great. Actually, even this game was close. Our offense hasn't dominated a game since this game, here in Game 1 against Ottawa. Because since then, we've had 5-4, 3-2, 3-2, 2-1, 3-1, 2-1, 3-2. So we're in a lot of tight games. We got to be very wary about that, which means we need to find our offense to kind of find a way to overpower the other team. And we also got to keep playing that good defensive style. Like, I like our defense and goaltending, like I've been saying, but we need more goals if we possibly can. So this is a big game. Obviously, if we lose this game on home ice, we're down 3-1. If we find a way to win it, it becomes a best of 3. And that means also Sierra would probably be returning for Game 6 if that is the case. So let's see if we can find a way to win here. This is a really big game. Hopefully that overtime loss didn't set us back too much, but hopefully we get a good response after last game. First period, Game 4. 2-1 Oilers. Bad defensive start. Yeah, bad goaltending start too. So maybe those defensive adjustments kind of made us a bit too offensively minded, not sure. But Draisaitl and Ogren score less than a minute apart. Howden gives us a power play goal, at least to pull us within 1. Shots are in our favor, 16-10, but we are still struggling to score goals. And we got to find ways to score goals. And hopefully Solovyov doesn't play like he just did in that first period, because he's been really good so far in this playoff run, but he occasionally has periods like that, which is not great. So can we have a good response in the second period, tie this game up, or find a way to get that lead? Second period. 3-3. Okay, that's a much better period, but I'm still kind of a little bit scared because it's another close game again. So Bjorkstrand did make it 2-2. Leon Bichelle scores to give the Oilers the lead, but Giordano scores for us. It's pretty much anybody's game again going into the third, just like it's been every single game pretty much in this Cup Finals. Shots are 26-21 in favor of us, so we're getting more chances than them, but it's once again another close game. Like, every single game as of late has been decided by only 1 to 2 goals, which is pretty insane. So can we find a way to get that lead in this third period and tie the series up at 2? Let's see what happens. Third period underway. Come on, boys. We need a big goal here. Power play for us. Come on, guys. You got one in them. We do not score on it. I made some power play adjustments, but we don't get that power play goal, which is kind of surprising. Come on, boys. Give me that 4th goal on our team. Give me that 4th goal or get it to overtime or something like that. But it's going to be going to another overtime. So another game is going to be decided by 1 goal. Like I said, this is where we need to find a way to get that next goal. We're out shooting it by 10 shots, but it's dead even. 39-29. So either we're getting goalied or our offense is just really dipped off since like the early stages of last round. So we got to find a way to win here. If we do not win this, we're going to need to win 3 straight games against Oilers, which is going to be pretty damn tough. So who wants to be the hero on our team? I don't really care who it is on our roster. It could be the most random name possible, but give me a win, and let's make this a best of 3 going forward. Let's see what happens. Overtime underway. Come on, guys. Give me that OT winner. Just give me it. I could smell it. I smell somebody on our team scoring that OT winner. I just don't know who. Power play for us. Please score. Oh, my goodness. That's a wasted opportunity. It's good chances. Power play again for us. We do not score again. We're almost at 50 shots on goal. And we do finally win on the 48th shot on goal. And it's Jääskeläinen again. So Jääskeläinen has had some huge overtime winners in this run. Absolutely huge goal there. I was a little bit worried that we were going to get goalie because of the fact we weren't scoring on the power play. But huge win there. Makes it a best of 3 for the Stanley Cup. And yeah, damn, Akira Schmid is insane. He's been really good for the Oilers in this Cup Finals, despite not being that good in the earlier rounds for them. But we managed to win that. We managed to win it. So Houghton from Bjorkstrand from Ciofito and Crane, Giordano from Leeson and Schaefer, and Jääskeläinen from Schaefer and Frundell. So a much better offensive effort in that game. A little bit worse defensively, but we do get the win, and that's all that really matters at the end of the day. So -2 for Leg. It seems like that fourth line's kind of having a tougher time in this Cup Finals defensively, but I'm not going to split them up because they've been so good for the most part. But look at that, another .925 save percentage plus for Solovyov. He has been so good. He's been so good. So Bjorkstrand the first star of the game, Bichelle the second star, and Giordano the third star. Kind of surprised both goalies didn't get stars in that one because even Akira Schmid had a .917 in that game. Like both goalies I thought were the stars in that one, but apparently they give it to the forwards because they allowed more than 3 goals, I guess, against. But this has been a crazy close series. Crazy, crazy close. 3-1, 2-1, 3-2, 4-3. And now it's a best of 3 for the Stanley Cup. And like I said, now that we won that game, that means for sure Sierra will be back in this Cup Finals likely for the next game after this one. So now comes the question, can we win another game on the road and give ourselves a chance to win the Stanley Cup back on home ice? Because that would be absolutely awesome to win the Cup on home ice, but I would be okay with winning on the road too. Wherever we win it, don't really care, but it would be better on home ice probably. So the question is now, can we win 2 in a row and push the Oilers to the brink? We're going to keep the team the exact same because we just won, but let's hopefully get a better effort in terms of getting more goal scoring support, because only winning games by 1 goal, eventually you're going to start losing those type of games too. So we have been losing those type of games. So we got to be a little bit wary about that. Let's see if we get a response, because we have been kind of still a little bit inconsistent in this Cup Finals, but we were much better in the first 3 rounds. So can we take our first lead of the series since we won game 1? Let's see what happens on the road in Edmonton. Come on, guys. Let's get the win here. Let's get the win here. First period, game 5. 2-0 us. That's a good start, and it's 2 power play goals. So the power play did not do good last game in overtime, but they start off this game on a really good note. Bjorkstrand and Frundell, so 2 big guys for our team. Shots are heavily in our favor after the first period, 17-7. So Akira Schmid's doing whatever he can to hold the Oilers in this game, and he's done that so far, I'd say, at this point. But our power play is looking good here early on, which is nice to see, considering, like I said, last game it didn't score in overtime, and I thought it was going to end up losing us the game because of that. So to see it score here, very good start. Can we keep this lead intact in the second period, potentially? Second period? Oh my goodness, I knew that they were going to keep it in it. We're outshoot them 30-17, but Solovyov allowed 2 goals in that period, and they were less than a minute apart. Denoye and Leroy. Goddamn. I kind of felt like when we went up 2-0 and we were outshooting them that badly that that Akira Schmid was going to keep them in this. And once again, we're going to be tied going into a third period. Seems like deja vu all over again. Oh my goodness, there's been so many 1-goal games. It's actually kind of intense. Kind of intense. But we're outshooting by 13 shots. So the fact that we're not winning this game by 3 goals right now is kind of insane. But that's been the moral of the story for the most part in these last like 10 games almost or so. Can we find a way to get another goal in Akira Schmid? Because right now he's willpowering this Oilers team to a potential win. So we got to be careful. Let's score some more goals like we did in the first period. Let's get a response after that bad second. Let's see what happens. Come on, boys. Give me that lead. Give me that lead. I know you have more goals than you because we're a good offensive team at times, but not in the last little while. Can we find that third goal? Yes, we can. Short-handed goal, Salmelainen. A short-handed goal. I was not expecting a short-handed goal in this stage, but that's a huge goal from the defenseman, his second of the series. And that will end up being the game-winning goal. We outshot them 47-25, but we only won by a goal. So Akira Schmid is literally the Oilers MVP at this stage, but We are one win away from the Stanley Cup in what has been a very inconsistent Cup finals. Like, we're generating chances but not scoring a ton, but sometimes we end up winning these games. And that first period was a good first period. The second period not good, but the third period getting that game winner, absolutely huge, especially shorthanded from a defenseman. So Bjorkstrand from Jaskline and Mäkinen, and then we had Frundell from Bjorkstrand and Mäkinen, so that top power play unit doing some good work. And then Salmelainen from Eriksson and Frundell ends up being the game-winning goal. So Frundell got first star in there, so good stuff from our captain. Akira Schmid made 44 saves against us, so yeah, he's definitely been keeping the Oilers in the series. And then Bjorkstrand, the third star. All right. So we're one win away from the Stanley Cup, and we have a chance to win the Cup on home ice. But the way this series has been going, I honestly have no idea what to expect. It's been just so close in every game. Like, the last time we won by multiple goals was the first game, but that wasn't even by that much. The last time we won by over 2 goals was game 1 against the Sens. Since then, it's been 1-goal games every single time almost, which is pretty damn insane. Like, this is a lot different than the Carolina series, because back against Carolina, we were winning by 3 goals, 5 goals, 5 goals again. Like, we were winning offensively consistently, but now our offense has taken the back seat, and we're kind of locking in that defensive structure, which is not that bad because Solovyov has been really good. So we're 1 win away from the Stanley Cup. Since we've won 2 games in a row, we're going to keep the team the same. And for some reason, Sierra's not back because I didn't get a notification he's back. I thought it said the 8th, but he must be back for Game 7 potentially. Let me take a look at his injury report here, because I thought he was going to be back today. Oh, it's apparently a playable injury. I'd rather him not play just because I feel like he could get injured again. And I would prefer him to be fully healthy. Technically, it would be nice to have him for a Cup celebration if we do win the Cup, but it's not worth him getting re-injured with a sprained ankle and not being in for Game 7 if we do go to Game 7. So, yeah, I think we're going to keep that the same. Let me take a look if Edmonton's had any injuries in this round. No, they have not. They're still healthy. All right. Well, a big game for us now. Can we find a way to close out the Edmonton Oilers, or are we going to have another 1-goal game and potentially go to a Game 7? Like, it literally could be that case. So, it's been back and forth so far. Can we win the Cup in front of our home fans with this young squad? Let's see what happens. We're going to do a real-time simulation probably. So let's see what happens. Can we get that win here? And I don't know who wants to score goals for us, but hopefully we can get some good goals. Maybe this will be our game that we score a lot of goals in. You never know. Never know who wants to score some goals for us. The Oilers open the score in Leon Draisaitl. That's not great. Do we have a response to that? Come on, boys. We just don't want to fall apart. So, oh my goodness, Lume makes it 2-0. Hey, maybe we're going to be able to score 2 goals in the second period just like they did against us, but not a good start to this game. Probably one of our worst starts in a while. 2 goals against on 12 shots. Lume and Draisaitl with their goals. We only had 8 shots on goal, no goals so far. Akira Schmid's been really tough to go up against, man. I don't know what it is, but he's been a lot better in this Cup Finals than he was in the first 3 rounds for them, because I think he had like a 908 going into this round. But since then, he's been a lot better. Game 1, he wasn't in net for, so at least maybe he got injured partly in the game. I'm not too sure, but we need a big second period from our team, or else we might be going to a Game 7 potentially back in Edmonton, which is kind of scary. So let's see what happens. Second period underway. Penalty kill to start the second period. It's a long one. I don't know who took that penalty, but that's kind of a dumb play to make, especially down by a pair of goals. Can we at least pull within 1? Because that will give us a chance. Just give me at least a goal on our side. And then maybe the third period we could come back in it. And we're not going to even score a single goal in that period. Our offense has been so weird. We're out shooting, or getting outshot. I was going to say we're out shooting them, but they're out shooting us 24-21. We're down by a pair of goals. We need a big third period here, or else we're going to Game 7 for the Stanley Cup. And I kind of anticipated a Game 7, so it kind of makes sense that we're at this stage right now. But let's see what happens. Third period underway. Come on, guys. Our fans are behind us, and Nord scores an early goal to make it 3-0. I think we're going to be going to a Game 7 for the Stanley Cup, potentially, as Bjorkstrand pulls us within 1. Crane, or not within 1. Bjorkstrand pulled us within 2. Crane pulls us within 1 with a few minutes to go. Can we tie this game up? I would jump in, but I don't feel like it's a good time to. Can we tie it up? No, we cannot. We lost by a goal again. This friggin' game is crazy, man. I don't even know what's happening in this Cup Finals. Like, every game is decided by a goal. That Nord goal early into the third ends up being the game-winning goal, just like it was in Game 2, I think it was. Maybe Game 3. But Bjorkstrand from Crane and Ciofito, and then Crane from Ciofito and Bjorkstrand. So the same guys contributed. But we need to find a way to get that goal scoring, man. We have not been able to score more than 3 goals in this game. Solovyov just had his worst game yet in the playoffs, I think, or one of his worst. And Akira Schmidt has been posting .930 save percentages every single game, I think, against us. Just crazy. And now we go to Game 7. This has been really crazy, and Sierra will be back for Game 7 of the Cup Finals, so that does give us a bit of a defensive boost. But at the same time, is it going to be enough? Who knows? So we'll take Wilkinson out. Sierra will come back in. And then we're going to make some defensive adjustments. I'm going to go back to Tatar on the top pairing. I'm going to go back to Schaefer and Sierra, I think, even though they haven't played together in a while. I did really like that pairing a few years ago, and Boyd will play with Salmelainen. So we kind of like are loading up the top 4, basically. And then goaltending, we're obviously still going to run with Solovyov. In terms of our offense, I'm going to go back to Bjorkstrand on the top line, Jääskeläinen down to the second line. Trying to think what else I could do here. Is there any other adjustments I can make? Ooh. I actually think I found an adjustment, potentially. We're going to move Eriksson into the top 6, I think. Yeah, we're going to move Eriksson into the top 6. Ciofito's going to go back down to the third line, just to kind of bolster things a bit. This fourth line has been struggling a little bit as of late, too, though. It's only one game. I'm going to move Leeson down to the fourth line, even though he's a second line forward, just because Leg's a sniper. So he needs to be next to some playmakers, potentially. And then I think everything else is good. Yeah, I think everything else is good. So a lot of random adjustments, but it's only for Game 7. Is this going to find us the way to win the Stanley Cup or not? Damn, I was really hoping we'd win on home ice, but it's been so back and forth so far because we won 1, they won 2. We won 2. They've won 1. Hopefully they don't win 2. Hopefully they don't win 2. We're 15-6. They're 15-9. It comes down to one last game to decide the Cup winner. Is it going to be Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl, or is it going to be this young Islander squad? I think we got to hop into it. Pretty damn nervous to hop into it, but can we find a way to win this, or are we going to have another Cup Finals defeat? Let's see what happens. Oh man, back on the road again to win the Stanley Cup. Can we do it? Can we do it? Got to get off to a good start here, boys. Penalty kill to start off this first period. And we killed it off. Nicely done. Power play for us. We do not score on it. Power play for them. Kill it off, please, boys. And they get a goal after the power play from Ozzy Weissblatt, of all people. God damn. Both teams getting power plays early in this one, but we are going to be... Oh my goodness, are you kidding me, Solovyov? Not given. I was going to say we're going to be down by 1 after the 1 period, but Savoy with 15 seconds left. That is a ball buster of a goal. We outshot them 15-11, but we're down by a pair of goals after the first period, just like last game. We need a big second period here. If we could get 2 goals back, maybe we have a chance to win this, but this is not looking good right now. Solovyov's off to a tough start again, just like last game. Hopefully he doesn't crumble too much. Hopefully we can find our defensive identity here. Come on, guys. Let's get some goal scoring support. We have not scored a lot of goals in this playoff run so far, and at least in this Cup Finals. We need some goals in the second period from our team. Come on, let's see what happens. Second period. Come on, guys. Give me a goal. Thank you. Leahy starts maybe the comeback. That's a big goal from the fourth line. Power play for us. We do not score. Penalty kill. Kill it off, please, boys. 5-on-3 penalty kill. And we get a goal afterwards. Anton Frundell. Okay. That's a massive 5-on-3 penalty kill. And Anton Frundell has tied this game up, the captain. And that is not going to be the time going into the third period as Connor McDavid scores a power play goal with $1:24 left. 2 late goals have been given up by us. We're going to jump in to watch the entire third period, I think, because we're only 38 minutes into this recording. So we're going to watch this entire third period. That way we can see everybody out there as well. We're only down by a goal, and we need to find a way to tie this one up if we want to have a chance to win the Stanley Cup. God damn it, man. Why did we give up that late goal? If it was 2-2 going into the third, I'd feel a lot better right now than being down by a goal. Let me see. Audio and visual. Let me just make sure this is turned off again. Yes, it is. Okay. Oh boy, this is the biggest third period of all season. If we could find a way to tie it up, we definitely have a chance, but it could be a back and forth type of game still. Who wants to be the hero to tie this game up in this third period? We had a good second period up into the last minute, but of course Connor McDavid's the guy that gives them the lead. All right, we have our top line out there against their top line. Makinen versus Savoy. Savoy wins the draw. Smith up to McDavid, who is playing left wing still. Shoots it. Solovyov will make the save to start off this third period. We don't want to give them too much opportunities because they have definitely a pretty damn good offensive core. So we got to play good defensively in this period and also find our offensive game, which we have not found for the most part in this finals. Makinen at the draw. He wins it cleanly. Houghton throws it to Frundell. Anton Frundell, the captain, already a goal in the game. Walks in, throws it to Makinen, a shot, and Akira Schmid had to make a weird save. I don't know why he made that type of save when he has got that much energy. I thought he was like depleted on energy with that save, but that's a huge save from Akira Schmid, who's been definitely a thorn in our side in this Cup Finals. Come on, guys. We've got a lot of time on the clock to tie this one up. Makinen can't win the offensive zone faceoff. Here is Savoy. He finds Ogren. Ogren's got a little bit of space. Can we get back defensively? Oh my goodness, a big save by Solovyov now. They almost have full pressure already after one shot, which is kind of crazy. A shot from Bouchard is turned away, but that gets out of the zone. Great rebound control by Solovyov to let that go all the way out of the zone. That's a smart play. And now Akira Schmid's forced to freeze that, so yeah, that save with the blocker is absolutely awesome because the way it just came flying out of the zone gets rid of the pressure, gives us a chance with an offensive zone face-off again. Makinen at the draw again against Savoy. Can he win this one? No, he cannot. Damn, Savoy. Stop winning face-offs, man. Bouchard throws it up. Here is Ogren. He throws it across. Nice knockdown by Tatar. He finds Makinen. He finds Bjorkstrand behind the defense. Bjorkstrand walks in, a shot, and Schmid will make the save and doesn't allow a rebound out till Frundell. There's been some good chances on both sides to start this third. Still looking for that tying goal. We do have that second line out there. Eriksson, Crane, and Jääskeläinen because we did rework the top six a little bit. So maybe Eriksson could win some faceoffs and help it out a bit because he is a good two-way forward for the most part. Desnoyers jumps in and he finds Nord again. Why is Noel Nord so good against us? And we're down by a pair of goals here in Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Finals. We still have a lot of time to get back into this game, but that's a big goal for the Oilers. I don't know how Houghton didn't play better defensively there. Solovyov was forced to come across and he couldn't get it. God damn it, man. But Noel Nord's had like 3 third-period goals against us in this Cup Finals, I'm pretty sure. So without him, maybe we would have had a better chance. But right now, not looking good. Our coach is not happy. We've had such a good run up to this point. To losing Game 7 would be absolutely abysmal. I mean, at least this team's young, so we could run it back again next year. But for this to end right here would be really bad. Really, really bad. All right. Well, let's see what happens. We still have time on the clock to get back into this game. Just got to play better defensively and find a way to get at least one goal back. Draisaitl gets a chance. Solovyov makes a save. Oh, my goodness. Come on, guys. Now you're not even playing defense, and you almost gave them full pressure again. Oh my goodness. Maybe I shouldn't have jumped in so early, but I feel like it's a good point to jump in. That way you guys could see everybody out there and stuff. So Eriksson at the face-off again against Draisaitl. Come on, Eriksson. He wins it. Nice face-off win. Jääskeläinen throws it up to Salmelainen. Salmelainen turns it over. Here's Kyle Crane, or Kevin Crane, or whatever his name is. Kevin Crane, yeah. Kyle Crane's still that other guy in friggin' that video game I played. I can't remember what it's called now. Crane again finds it over. A good chance there from Eriksson, turned away by Akira Schmid. Schmid's been so good against this. Draisaitl with the puck. He's got no X factors. Can't get the shot through. Boyd over to Eriksson. Eriksson carries it up. Finds Crane. Crane with the puck. Can't carry it in. Oh, man. I don't feel like we're generating enough in this third period. Weisblatt throws it to Osland. It's turned away. Rebound, scores. Well, that might be it. Theoro makes it a 5-2 game. So we basically had such a mid-season, have a good playoffs up into the Cup Finals. Like I said, our offense has not been scoring goals. We're now bound by 3 goals. We probably won't come back in this, but we're still going to watch it anyways, just because it's Game 7. But oh my goodness. Worst time for us to fall apart here. Like, Solovyov was doing really good to start this cup finals as well. These last 2 games, he's been a bit shaky. Our defensive play hasn't been as good the last 2 games as well, I'd say. But it's been just so back and forth that I didn't have any idea what to expect in Game 7. But bad third period here. Late second period goal by McDavid is a big one for them. Goddamn, still 11 minutes left, so we could still get back into this, but we need to score literally a goal as soon as possible. And now we're running around still defensively. Goddamn, guys. Why spot a chance and that almost found itself in? They almost have full pressure again. Why are we falling apart here, man? Oh my goodness. Like I said, at least we have a young team, so we could still run it back again next season, but does Jääskeläinen come back? I honestly don't even know. Like, Giordano could be in that top 6 potentially next season. Savoy, chance that's turned away. Oh my goodness. Come on, guys. We're literally not even playing anymore. Big block shot there, at least. Nice save. Sierra throws it up here. Ciofito. Maybe I should have just kept the lines the same after last game. I don't even know. But Akira Schmid's been too good. The Oilers are finding their offense, and they're outshooting us now by like 10 shots, despite it being pretty close to start this third period. But damn it. I thought we would have had a chance to win the cup this year. Just based on how much easy of a team we were during the regular season in terms of record, I thought we had a chance this year, but seems like it's coming to crash down. Unless we could score 3 quick goals here, I just don't see it's coming back in this one. Grushnikov with the puck. Carries it up. Gets by, but Houghton finds it now. Olli Houghton. Can't get it to Mäkinen on time. God damn it. We're offside. We're just not generating enough. Our team is not moving their legs enough too. It's a really tough one. Alright, well, let's see if we could at least get a goal here in this third period so we can see at least somebody score on our team. Mäkinen wins the draw. Ogren's poked. Here is Tatar. He's knocked off of it. Like, we're just playing soft on the puck too. And forcing, like, they're forcing way too many turnovers. Like, McDavid's going to get a cup right near the end of his career, isn't he? Bjorkstrand finds Houghton. Houghton finds Tatar. That's turned away again by Schmid. God damn it, Akira. And there's a poke check, and here is a chance for Draisaitl again. He can't get by. Yeah, there's only 6 minutes left. We need a historic comeback if we're going to win this game, which is probably not going to happen. But Nord is definitely also a thorn in our side, just like Akira Schmid. Those guys, I think, are the ones that won them the cup, basically. Draisaitl. Bouchard can't get the shot through. Here's Nielikainen. We got a first look at a 4th line out there. Nielikainen, Leeson, and Leahy, I think. I don't know, maybe it's not Leahy. I don't even know. I reworked the 4th line a little bit. Nielikainen finds Leahy. He finds Salmelainen, a block right there. Leeson back to Leahy. Over to Nielikainen, and we don't even get a shot away. At least we're starting to get a little bit of pressure here, but it's a bit too late for that, guys. Especially down by 3 goals. Nord can't get by our defenseman. Here is Benning. Benning with the puck. Throws it back to Nord. Nord to Osland, I think that was. Can't get the shot through. Or no, that's not even Osland. I don't even know who that is. Theroux to... Oh, no, it's Osland. Okay. Couldn't tell if I read that properly. But, man, we're just not playing good in our own zone, too. Yeah, see, like, we're getting literally trapped every single time by this Oilers team. I mean, it makes sense with their record that they were a lot better than us, but at the same time, I felt like our team should have simulated a lot better than we were. As we head into the final minute almost to play, down by 3 goals. If only we were still down by 1 goal, I'd feel maybe a bit better. But since we're down by 3, it's not going to happen. Jääskeläinen tries to break in, can't. Schaefer finds Crane. Crane shoots, blocked. Oh, man. Akira Schmid really goalied us, didn't he? He really did. Turned over. Mäkinen finds Bjorkstrand. Back to Mäkinen to Bjorkstrand. And I don't even know how Schmid kept that out, but he did. Of course he did. Man, this is tough to watch. I don't even think I'm going to be able to watch their Stanley Cup win. I'm going to have to just press it afterwards. I might see some of the handshake, but once we're out of the picture, I don't want to look at anything else. God damn, man. Here is Schaefer leading the rush. Kind of weird. Frundell can't get in. Anton Frundell finds Schaefer. Schaefer shoots it. Turned away again by Schmid. Here we are again. Bjorkstrand walks in. Schmid to save. Rebound. There's a goal from Mäkinen. It's a bit too late. If only we didn't give up any goals in this third period. Kari Mäkinen gives us our last goal probably of the season because only 9 seconds left. But a little bit too late. We did get full pressure. And a nice rebound goal there for Mäkinen. If Schmid made that save, I literally would have turned this game off almost. Because that would have been insane if he stopped that. But at least we get to see us score 1 goal here late. But yeah, the Oilers are going to win the Stanley Cup because of 2 third-period goals. And because of Noah Ostlund, or not Noah Ostlund, of Noel Nord. Noel Nord's literally had 3 game-winning goals here in third periods in this Cup Finals. That's absolutely outrageous, man. Outrageous. And there it is. The Edmonton Oilers have beaten us in Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Finals. I don't want to see them celebrate really too much. I just want to see the handshake line. But this is tough to watch, man. I thought our team had it. Even with some line adjustments, we played some good defensive hockey, good goaltending for the most part in the playoffs. But we just couldn't find that offensive consistency like we did before. But there's the handshake line. I just wanted to see this a little bit. Man, that is tough. And I don't want to see anything else. It looks like Savoy would have got the Conn Smythe for the Oilers. Damn. Yeah, Noel Nord gets 3rd star. I'm pretty sure he had 3 game-winning goals in this series. I'll have to take a look at that. But tough third period for us. If we would have played better in that third period, I think we could have won that cup, man. As that late goal could have ended up being one that forced it to overtime instead. But it wasn't. We just got completely dominated. Let's take a look at those stats. Any badly minus people in that Cup Finals game? Crane, Ciofito. Leahy had a goal in that game, but damn. And a bad game from Solovyov. His worst game since like early in the playoffs. He had an .861. I mean, some of those goals were when we jumped in. Like, maybe we shouldn't have jumped in. Maybe that would have changed things a bit. I'm not too sure, but that's a tough one. Absolutely tough. Alright, well, let's look at some player stats and wrap up the season. But hopefully we can get back in there next year. I think we definitely can. This might be the last time we lose in the Cup Finals, but we've lost 3 times now in this Cup Finals in the series. So we're kind of jinxed, it seems like, a little bit. But can I see the awards yet? No, I can't. Let's advance a day. So the Edmonton Oilers win the Stanley Cup. The Hershey Bears win the Calder Cup. Alright. I do want to take a look at those stats from our team in the playoffs here. Some of them might have got sent down, but most of them probably not. So, like, Jaskline was over a point per game. We had Makinen just under a point per game. But you can see that we just did not score enough goals. We did kind of early in the playoffs, but not in the finals. Because a lot of these guys went on bad stretches. So, it's unfortunate, but it is what it is. Everybody on our defensive core was really good scoring goals and all that, too. Howden was the only minus defenseman. And then goaltending, Solovyov had a .921. Had a rough game, final game, but for his first deep run of his playoff career, it's pretty damn good. Hopefully he brings that again next year. Hopefully he does. Oh, man, that sucks. What I wanted to take a look at, though, was the Edmonton Oilers, because I did want to take a look at, no, when I was in Noah Ostlund, it was Noel Nord. I keep on getting these Swedish guys confused. But Noel Nord, only 5 goals in the playoffs, 3 game-winning goals, and I'm pretty sure all those came against us in that Cup Finals. If we go game logs and look at the game-winning goal area, which is over here, I think. Yeah, game-winning goal. Look at this. He had the game-winning goal in game number 1 against us. He also had it in game 6 and game 7. So, Noel Nord is the reason why the Oilers won that, pretty much, other than Akira Schmid, because if we go to Akira Schmid's stats, he got up to a .916 after he had a .909 in the earlier rounds, but the earlier rounds, like I said, he was not good at all, but then he faced us, and every single game, like the first game, he only played 5 minutes, stopped everything, but then I guess he got injured, and we ended up winning that game because of that. Second game, he posted a .974. Third game, a .943. Then a .917, and a .936, .938. And then in the finals game, he posted a .906. So, he was really freaking good. God damn it, man. Well, that's tough. That is tough. Well, now that we've seen that, actually, let's look at the rest of the awards, because we almost forgot about that. Let's do that. Wrap up the year. But, damn, sucks to lose another Cup Finals. Like, Anton Frondel's been there for every Cup Finals loss I think we've had at this point in time. Art Ross went to Richie in Utah, same with the Hart. Evan Bouchard won the Norris, won the Cup against us. Connor McDavid, the Lady Byng, not a surprise. JC Burnett, the Calder. Savoy won the Conn Smythe. Kolzig wins the Vezina for Vancouver. Almost won one last year too, if I did not mistaken. He also wins the Jennings. Apparently, Akira Schmid won the Vezina last year and the Jennings last year, so I can see why he was so good. I can see why. Riker Evans, the Masterton. Anthony for Montreal wins to Jack Adams. Anything else? Selke went to Richie as well. Lindsay went to Richie. Maurice Richard went to Richie. Goddamn, that Richie guy just cleaned up on awards. Any AHL awards for our AHL team? Does not look like it. Nope. Damn. So, no award year for our team. Final few things we got to do is see what this draft class is looking like and all that, but man, that sucks. Thought we would have had the cup this year, but no, sir. Maybe next year. So, Pittsburgh, Philadelphia, St. Louis, Calgary, and Colorado have the top 3 picks. Kind of funny that Pittsburgh and Philadelphia have them, because that's definitely like going to be an interesting kind of rivalry matchup with the top 2 picks from this year's draft. All right. So, any retired players, probably not from our roster because we're still too young, but the big retired player this year is Kucherov, Besser, those type of guys. Good to see Kucherov gone. So that's pretty much that. Goalies. The best goalie to retire is Ottinger. 504 wins, damn. Shout out to Ottinger for over a 500 win career. Stuart Skinner was also up there the year the Oilers won the Stanley Cup, but no retirement to Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl despite the Cup win. But Evan Bouchard did retire with another Norris and a Stanley Cup wow against us, of course. So shout out to him, I guess. So there is the retirements. Coach retirements. Did we lose anybody? We did lose Belis. That might be our goalie coach again. I feel like we lose goalie coaches every year, though, so not really a surprise. We did also lose our USA West Scout, Sarah Legg, which means we're going to need to replace our USA West Scout. If you guys could remind me on that, just because I might forget. Let's go continue simulating for a second, and let's take a look at our progress reports, the draft class, obviously, and the contract situation. So first and foremost, the contract situation. Who is going to be a pending free agent this offseason, and will we bring them back? So we do have a lot of cap space, which is good, but Makinen, Ciofito, Boyd, Leeson, Leahy are all RFAs this offseason. Meanwhile, the UFAs that we need to bring back potentially. Jaskleinen, I'm not too sure still if I would bring him back because of the fact that Giordano could be up there. But Jaskleinen is the big UFA this offseason. He wants $10 million. That's not terrible. We could probably get him for less too because of the organizational interest, but we probably need to get more guys more ice time like Giordano and all that. So I think he's probably gone. Aside from that, Legg was really solid this season with that fourth line. I'd love to hold on to him. He only wants 3.25. And then Neil Kylan was also good with that fourth line. So it would be nice to hold on to those guys for a little bit longer. Aside from that, there is Ladin, who's a pending RFA, who's not even getting much of a chance with our defensive core. So we got to make a decision with that if we do want to still hold on to him or we decide to trade away his rights. Aside from that, pretty much everybody else is just RFAs and AHLers. Coral jumped up to a 75. God damn. Some pretty good growth from one of our low elites. So that's going to be exciting because he could play in our AHL team next year. So shout out to all that. Goaltending, Suhanik's probably not going to come back because Hainsey's likely going to be our backup. Smith's going to be an AHL starter, and then maybe we sign Lannon. Not too sure. All right, so that's the contracts. The progress reports, let's take a look at that. See if there's anybody that got any crazy growth other than Korolyuk, because obviously we know Korolyuk got a lot of growth. Looks like some guys are getting some statistical and natural growth, so that's kind of nice. Yeah, we are definitely going to have to make some tough decisions this offseason. Maybe have to trade some people too. But yeah, I don't know about Jaskleinen coming back just because of the logjam on Ford that we have. So there's the growth in the NHL. In the system, any crazy growth? Let's see. Albrecht's up to a 72 at 20. Not bad for a low elite. All right. Looks like some guys are growing a little bit. Nice. What about right wingers? Kadri's up to a 75. Okay. Ulonov 68 and 21. That's not bad for a medium elite. Ellington 73 to 22. Okay. Left wing side of things looks pretty basic. Centers, Korolyuk, as we saw, 75 at 20. This guy's going to be really good 85 offensive awareness. He's got only 75 passing, so I don't know what type of player he is, but he got a lot of growth, so that's good. Sprooks is up to a 65 at 19. Prince is getting kind of close as a fourth line option / depth forward, so that's not bad. So there is all of that. All right, final thing. Let me take a look at our draft board here and the draft class. What picks do we have this year? Because I don't remember. We do not have our second rounder. We have a first, third, 4, 5, 6, and 7. It's just not a second this year. All right. So we only have our first and do not have our second. So we're drafting at 31st overall. So let's see if there's any good steals around that point. Any good steals that we could add to our prospect pool. Timofey Jaskin, doesn't look the best. Maybe a lowly DFD here in Novoseltsev. He looks okay. I'll pin him in case. Zikov? He's not bad. He's 2 years out. That might be not a bad option. There's also Tim Negrin. He doesn't look the greatest, but he could be a low elite still. Oh, there's a guaranteed medium elite goalie in Toby Dawes, but I don't really know if I need more goalie prospects yet. There's also Vorobyov if we want another Russian goaltender prospect. All right, let's just see if there's any good potentials that I could pin. Not guaranteed medium elite. Is there any guaranteed low elites? Any guaranteed low elites? Yes, there is. A lowly grinder in Brad Savage. Savage, and he's a grinder. All right, that's interesting. Let's pin him. Let's pin him. Aside from that, I don't know too much. I don't think this draft class is going to be the most insane thing, but it's going to be okay, I guess. So anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this episode of New York Islanders Franchise Mode. So in next episode, we'll take it to the draft and re-sign stage. We're going to have to make some tough decisions this offseason, preferably in free agency or maybe at the draft. But I don't know exactly what we want to do because we are probably going to have to part ways with some people to free up roster spaces and all that. But there's a bit of a logjam, but I think it's a good thing to have that internal competition in our roster. So hopefully next year we can find a way to get one more win because obviously we were one win away from the Cup this year. I think it's a good thing that our team was able to get to that Cup Finals, but it really sucks that the season decided to end a little bit shorter. So leave a comment below, and I'll see you guys next time.